Doodlebud here. If you've been watching my channel for any length of time, you know I love my Muji paper. However, it's not super readily available for everyone. I'm lucky. I have 3 or 4 stores super close to me, but not everybody can get this stuff, so a viewer reached out. They also like the convenience of the A5 size. They don't have access to a Muji store, so this is what they buy on Amazon. It's a Kokuyo paper. It's the campus style. You get 100 sheets of A5 paper. This costs $10. And he was wondering, is this as good as my Muji that I like? Well, I picked some up to do the test, so let's get started. With the Challenger today, as I showed you here, a lot of it's in Japanese. I'll leave a link down there in the description. By the way, it'll be an affiliate link, so if you buy this, I might make, I don't know, 42 cents or something like that. Anyways, the package came. It was supposed to be stuck down, but it was actually opened. Looks a little bit rough for the wear. We have a couple sheets that are bent over. I'm gonna have to toss those or just use them for testing anyway. So the packaging isn't amazing. Click the link, you get all the details. 100 sheets of A5 paper. It has the 20 ring on here, which the 20 ring hole punch. I really like this format. Now, what we're going up against is, this is probably my favorite setup from Muji. First, you start off, you have, this is a craft cover book. There's a polypropylene cover you can get to. The craft cover comes in 2 colors, beige and then like a dark kind of blackish type color. This A5 craft cover goes for $3.90. This is probably the coolest feature. It's just how you load it. You grab opposite corners, you pull, pop, they all open. You put in your refill. You buy them here. I'm going to talk about the refills because there's lots of different refills and they're not all the same. So I'll try to explain that. You pop in your refill and then you just close up and you're ready to go. Like, it is just super, super slick. And this paper feels quite nice. So a setup like that, equivalent of 100 sheets. These are 30 sheet packets they come in. Those go for $1. These go for $1.90 each. So to have the equivalent of 100 sheets, that would cost $6.33 versus $10.03. Add in the cover. Now we're essentially the same cost, but this doesn't come with a cover, so you got to buy that separate. So pretty good value. I think I've whittled it down as far as I can. Another alternative you can get is this one here. So this is their A5 notebook. This has 50 sheets. It's also made in Japan paper. This is pretty nice stuff as well. We're gonna compare all these. There's really no distinction between the paper types. They say a few things. They have some recycled paper or something tree paper, planting tree paper, I think they call it. There's a few different types. It doesn't seem to really tell you if it's fountain pen friendly or not. But this is the big one. It has to say made in Japan. They have paper that says made in Indonesia. It's not nearly as good as the Japanese paper, so keep an eye out for that. There is this book here, so it comes all together. So spiral bound, has this little elastic cover. It's got their, it's made in Japan as well, but they call this their high quality paper. So the other stuff is just loose leaf paper. This is high quality paper. This comes with 80 pages and it's a 6mm grid. And this one here, the whole package, this retails for $8.90. It seems whatever configuration you choose with Muji, you're going to be in and around the $10 mark for 100 pages with a cover. For the campus, 100 pages is $10, but you buy the cover once, they're probably $2, maybe $3, just like Muji. So yeah, 100 pages, $10 range. The difference we got to find out though is the paper. Is this stuff as good? Let's get to it. Let's introduce the test pens. We have a Jinhao 9019. Super nice juicy nib. It has blue ink in it. I forget the name of the ink, but it's a dark blue. That's all I can tell you. Now we have my Kokuyo Perkeo medium nib. This is really nice, super smooth. It has the Noodler's Cactus Green. I got a sample of this and it is fantastic. We got my Ultim pen here. So this is the Enso, Puma, and Ultim. And this is sort of worst case scenario. This is filled with Bay State Blue. I'm doing a 1-year Bay State Blue test on this pen. We're gonna clean it. I think I have to wait till July, so let's do a test with it before it's cleaning time. Then I'm gonna pick a couple pens from my nice pen box here. We're gonna go with the Pelikan M1000 medium nib. Absolutely lovely. Let's get cool with the James Bond pen, the 007 by Montegrappa. And yeah, this is new and popular. A little Kaweco Sport piston. The ink in here, I might go back to my video to find out what it is. Figure we might as well start with the Challenger. New in the house here. Let's just pick from the middle of the deck. get some good sheets, and yeah, let's start writing. Initial impressions with this campus paper, I have to tell you, it's pretty darn good. The Bay State Blue, if we can get some, there we go. It's actually not too bad. A little bit of fuzziness around the sides, as you can see there on some of the numbers. But overall, that's actually not too bad considering what the ink, what the ink can do. On the backside, we do have a little bit of we do have show through, potentially even a little bleed through in a few spots. But the other pens, you could go double-sided. You might want to go like an extra fine or something like that. But here we go. I'll show the backside of this in a second. But the M1000 did great. No feathering or anything whatsoever on this paper. Oh, it didn't cross my T. Well, that's going to drive me nuts. Oh, well. Here we are on the extra fine on the Sport piston. You could write double-sided on this actually with almost all these. A little bit of show-through there with the Pelikan M1000. But no feathering. Everything's looking really good. So far, I'm extremely impressed with this. I'm going to do the same sample with the same pens, all that jazz, on the Muji paper. Then we will compare. Actually, I'm looking a little bit... Yeah, I think that's just me smudging it, yeah. Oh, it's not even quite dry yet? Okay, so I might redo that on another piece just to compare. I finished off all the Muji writing samples. Now it's time to say, well, how does it compare to the campus paper? Okay, so... there are the two, actual, there was 3 levels, but they only seem to be 2 levels of the paper, of the Japanese paper. We have this one, the loose leaf I showed you, that was the least expensive option. It does extremely well, but up close, I'll get the macro lens on. You can see tiny little extra bits sort of in the paper. And every now and then it almost looks like a feathering, but there's like some other grades of paper that are in there that gives it that look. These two look and feel absolutely identical. They're all very smooth. They're more like high quality paper. Does feel a hair smoother, but it's almost, you almost can't even notice it. For bleed through and show through, the Muji paper performs all about the same. The lower cost one, the slightly cheaper one, the loose leaf on its own, a little bit more on the bleed through and show through, but the higher quality paper, they do about the same. I would say the campus paper actually does a little bit better, especially on the Bay State Blue. You can see it, so a little bit more show through. The campus paper is doing better. I redid the sample just because the first one got smudged. This cactus green ink, I redid it. It's still smudged after I let it sit for 10 minutes plus. I don't know what's up with that ink. Show through, this is doing a little bit better. As far as smoothness and feel, I will give that to the Muji paper. It does feel, even just on the touch, you can feel the difference between the campus paper. The campus paper is very nice. It feels great. But then when you go to the Muji paper, it feels a little bit better, a little bit smoother. The lower cost one is still better than the campus. And then their more expensive one is just, again, a hair bit more. Let me show you those little features I was telling you about. If we look at the number 2 and the number 3, you can see those little hairs that are there. The more premium Muji paper doesn't have that, so you get that every now and then throughout the pages. They're tough to see. There we go on the P. So that's not feathering. That's just a little sort of extra stuff that's in this paper. On the Kokuyo paper, we're not seeing any of those little extra little bits in their paper. So it's very similar to the premium Muji. As far as coloring and whatnot, here we have a nice little sheeny ink. It's doing a great job of showing off the sheen. There you go there. Same when it comes to shading. Let's go up to this one here. I think this is Stone Gray by Graphon Faber-Castell. Same thing with the Muji paper. Lovely shading to show off the properties of whatever ink you're choosing. Also does a great job with the sheen and showing it off here. It's the same ink that I had in the Kaweco Sport Piston. Yeah, both these papers, the Muji and the Kokuyo, they do a great job. The auto white balance on this phone is terrible and probably change as I'm talking about this, but this is the Kokuyo paper. This is the more premium Muji, and this is the lower cost Muji paper. So you can see these are fairly similar in color. They're both a little bit creamier. They're still a nice white, but a little bit more of a creamy white compared to Kokuyo. It has a brighter white color to it. Final thoughts on this Kokuyo campus paper. We're testing the A520 ring. I like it. It is very, very similar to Muji paper. Very close. Like I pointed out the differences, slight difference in paper temperature, like sort of the color. This does a little better with bleed through. However, this is a little bit of a smoother feeling paper. It is a little more cost effective, a little bit cheaper. And I do have Muji stores are very, very close to me, super easy to get to. So I'll probably still be rocking the Muji paper, but I'll definitely be using this whole pack. And if I have trouble getting to a Muji store or whatever it is, it's not convenient for me to get it, I'll be picking this stuff up. There is another one. I believe the label is green. I was looking at it, looks the same. So I really don't know what the difference is. Maybe that's worth giving a try. If you know the difference, leave a comment down there. So that's it. Thanks to the viewer who brought this to my attention. Hopefully this helps out some other folks that don't have a Muji store nearby and they sort of like my whole setup I have and they're wondering what else they could get. Give this a look. Again, Amazon, super fast and easy. There'll be a link down there and you're clicking your mouse, you're clicking your finger, hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe. If you do, we'll catch you next time.